guys, Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the MORPHE Weapons of Mass Seduction kit. So if you want to see all of my thoughts on this, and then I also created this eye look with it, and I will show you how I did that. If you want to see all of that, keep watching, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so I picked up this MORPHE Weapons of Mass Seduction. It's a 5-piece eye collection, so I'm just gonna go through it. First of all, I have to say I love Morphe's new packaging and their new logo. I think it's so chic, and I'm just really enjoying it. I think that it was such a good move on their part. So this is what the box looks like, and then inside the box, there is this plastic insert. So you have 2 double-ended brushes, a pencil liner, a gel liner, and this eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna pop all of these out, and then I'll show them all to you, and then we'll do some swatches and then get into the makeup look. First up, it comes with 2 brushes. The first brush has a very tiny eyeliner brush on it, and then the other side of that has a very small smudge brush. And then the second brush has this domed shader brush, and then also kind of a pointed blending brush. And then it comes with this eyeliner pencil, and this is in the shade Dark Room. It's a really, really pretty black, and it blends out pretty easily. There's also a gel liner in here, and it is in the shade Brownish. It's a really pretty dark brown color. And then lastly, and maybe most excitingly, is the eyeshadow palette. It is a trio with 3 shades. There is Kinda Natural, Velvet, and Deep Hue, and they are all matte shades. Alright, so those are all 5 products that are included in the kit. Today I use all of them except for the pencil liner, just because I don't generally use pencil liners, but I'm going to use everything else in here and show you guys how I got this look, and then I will give you my final thoughts at the end of the video. Starting out, I'm going to start with the lightest color. This is in Kinda Natural, and I'm going to take the 2-sided brush. I'm taking this like pointed blender brush, and I'm going to dip that in there. And then I'm just going to put this into my crease. And I'm just doing windshield wiper motions back and forth, just really blending it into the crease. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. This isn't my favorite brush for blending, so I thought I was gonna get away with it, but I am just gonna go in with this fluffy brush and take that same color right here and just kind of fluff it in. I just feel like this brush is so much softer, and it kind of gets to more area, which is kind of what I want to do right now, just because I want this to kind of blend all over, and then we'll add the other colors and be more precise with them. Alright, now I'm going to go into the darkest shade, which is Deep Hue, and I'm going to use, again, that pointed brush, and I'm just going to put this right into the outer V. I'm just going to kind of darken up the outer portion of my eye, and I'm only taking it in about 1/3 of the way, so you want to keep it on the outer portion of your eye. Now I'm going to go in with the other side of that brush. I've been using this dome side, but now I'm going to use this shader brush side, and I'm going to go in with the middle color, which is called Velvet, and I'm going to put this all over the lid. Next, I'm going to go in with the liner. This is in the shade Brownish. It's a gel liner. This is what it looks like. And it comes with a brush, which is right here. This is, I think, supposed to be a detailed liner brush, and then this is a smudge brush. I don't like plain liner brushes. I like to use an angled brush, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna dip in and then line my eyes. This is one of the creamiest gel liners that I've ever worked with. It's super, super easy to work with. It's not, you don't have to tug at your eye, and it just goes onto your brush really, really easily. right, I'm going to give the liner just a minute to dry before I put mascara on, and I'm going to go in with this little smudge brush and use the exact same shades on my lower lash line. So first I'm going to start out with Kinda Natural and just brush this all the way under my lower lash line. Now I'm gonna go in with the pink shade Velvet and take this in about halfway. So now I'm going in with this deep hue. And again, we're just gonna go about a quarter of the way, or a third of the way in. I keep trying to use these brushes. I've used them multiple times and I always end up going in and using something different. So I'm gonna go in with my Real Technique smudge brush and just kind of blend this out. I don't know why that one. I think because it's just a lot smaller. It's harder to blend things out with because of the size. So I just like this one better. So it's just easier and faster for me to get the job done. Alright, now I'm going to put on mascara and I will be right back. Alright, so I just put mascara on and this is the finished eye look. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I've done this eye look a couple of times now and yeah, I really like it. Alright, I'm going to go over each product and give you guys my final thoughts. First up is the eyeshadow palette. I really loved this. I think that each shadow is super blendable. I'm a fan that it's all matte just because I do tend to wear more mattes than I do shimmery shades. I love this shade and that they included it. It's like the perfect crease shade, and I do really like that they have this dark brown so that you can throw it into the outer corner. I also will sometimes take a angled brush like the one I used for my liner. I'll just take something like this and use a dark shade like this and use that as liner. So a lot of times I will use an eyeshadow as liner, so I could totally travel with this palette if I wanted to. I think that they're pigmented. They don't have a ton of fallout. They do have a little bit, but not that much. So I really, really like this palette. Next up is the gel liner in Brownish. I loved this. This is one of my favorite gel liners that I've ever used. It's very, very gel-like, and I know that's obviously in the name, but most of the gel liners I've used have been a drier formula, and this is a much wetter formula, which I think is easier to work with because you don't have to tug at your eyes. It's easier. It'll just go on exactly where you're placing it instead of having to keep going over the same spot multiple times. So I'm a huge fan of this. I don't know if it's going to dry up quickly or not, but as of now, I love it. I also really like using a brown eyeliner sometimes. A lot of times I'll use black, but I think that brown, especially because I have brown hair, looks a little bit more natural, and I just kind of like how it looks sometimes. So sometimes it's cool to go with not a black liner. And I do want to say that this does dry down matte, which is so important to me. I don't like glossy or shiny eyeliners. I really like when eyeliners dry down to be matte. Next up is this eye pencil, and this is in the shade Dark Room, and I didn't use this today, but I have used it before and I really like it. I lined my upper lash line and then blended it out with a smudge brush, and I really like it. In general, I don't use pencil liners that often, so I probably won't use it that often, but I did want to try it out and let you guys know what I think, and I did like it. It wasn't like my favorite liner of life, but it was okay. I also have to note that I didn't put it in my waterline, so I don't know how long it would last in your waterline. I never put liner in my waterline. I don't know why. I just kind of think that it closes up my eyes and it makes them look smaller, so I tend to stay away from that. So as far as that goes, I don't have a review for you if it works in your waterline. Okay, let's talk about the brushes. The shadow brush, I really like the oval shader brush. I think this was a really good one. The other side is kind of this pointed brush, and I don't mind this as much to kind of precisely place product, just like different shadows in like the outer V or something like that, but I don't like this as your only blending brush. So I would have liked to see a bigger fluffy brush to blend everything out instead of this one. Even though I do use this one too, I would have rather had a big fluffy brush. And then this one has this small smudge brush, which I said I like this one better just because it's a bit bigger. This one is so small, it's really hard to kind of blend a shade out. And then this one is their liner brush, which I have never used. The cap was still on it. I don't really like liner brushes like this. I'd rather use one with an angle. So I wasn't the biggest fan of the brushes. So I guess overall I'm 2 and 2. I wasn't a huge fan of the pencil liner just because I don't really use pencil liners that much, or the brushes, but I love the gel liner and I really loved the eyeshadow palette. So for me, I still think it was worth it. It was $15 for the set and I really like it. They do have a smoky option, which I will leave down below as well. But I think that if you want to try this out, especially if you kind of want all of the products that you would need for an eye look in one place, it would be a good investment. Alrighty guys, that is everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.